Marine, you gotta get to Bravo team quickly. They need all the firepower they can get. Sending that transmission is critical to our survival.
I don't think you understand, Dr. Betruger.
No, I understand everything.
I'm telling you now, Doctor, the UAC is taking over this operation.
Operation? Is that what you're calling it?
The situation is out of control.
It's not out of control, Swan. You are. I'll manage this, and you and your flunky will be taking control of nothing. Do you understand?
Yes, Betruger. I think I do understand.
Okay, Plan B.
Welcome to the Alpha Labs. Formerly designated Phase 1 by the Union Aerospace Off-World Research Division, the Alpha Labs began construction on October 29, 2095, and became fully operational July 17, 2130. Originally created as the Prime Science and Research Facility, Alpha Labs are responsible for the development of leading-edge technology such as the Elemental Phase Deconstructor, Hydrocon, and Molecular Fuel Storage Compressor, all presently being utilized right here in the Alpha Labs. These endeavors have allowed for much-needed expansion into the UAC's current leading research facility, Delta Labs, where Union Aerospace is opening all new opportunities in research and development. With continued investment and hard work, the Union Aerospace Corporation strives for excellence and is committed to building a better tomorrow.
Don't stop, buddy. There's nothing you can do for me. They're all gone. Surprised us. They just came out of nowhere.
Access denied.
There's still a few squads operating, but they're all cut off from each other. Try to find them.
Bravo team reports there's some sort of unidentified growth taking over parts of the base. I don't know what it is, but it can't be good. Stay sharp.
It isn't working. I tried everything. The computers aren't responding. I can't get root access to the systems. We can't do it here. We'll have to access the system somewhere else.
All right, let's go.
This is the audio log of Director William Banks, dated October 20th, 2145. It has come to my attention that we have an alarming number of missing personnel throughout the base. My office has received 4 additional reports from Delta in the last week alone, mentioning that personnel are not reporting for work and that calls to their quarters have gone unanswered. My office has sent the names of those personnel to Mars City Security, and they have promised to initiate an investigation. But this news is very disturbing, especially at a time when we have so many people in the infirmary suffering from sudden cases of schizophrenia and other psychological disorders. I hope there is no connection between those cases and these reports of missing personnel. This is the audio log of Director William Banks, dated October 5th, 2145. It has been brought to my attention by Environmental Services that the recent power grid changes have caused many non-critical systems to malfunction. The report explains that this is due to either intermittent power outages or lower than optimal voltage input. It also says that sufficient power distribution to all non-critical systems is becoming more difficult to maintain, thanks to Dr. Betruger and his so-called optimizations to the energy stores in and around the facility. I assured the Director of ES that I would file a report with Central Authority over this.
Welcome to the Alpha Labs, formerly designated Phase 1 by the Union Aerospace Off-World Research.
Access granted.
Marine, I've received a report that you haven't reached Bravo Team yet. You need to pick up the pace. Can't wait for you. Reaching the communication facility quickly is imperative.
The UAC takes pride in its safety record. Please follow UAC procedures.
Generations, has lived under the looming specter of slowly dwindling natural resources. Our new ventures on planets like Mars have only intensified our need to find fresh sources for metals, special chemicals, copper, and even air. The need dramatic solutions. Solutions that will soon pay off for the UAC, its investors, and indeed the entire human race. Mars itself is our chief ally and the key to our solution. Look around at its vast red deserts, rich in naturally occurring iron oxides. They are the raw materials of our future. We have developed a process that destabilizes the atomic structure of pulverized iron oxide and separates it into
Audio log for Kyle Berger, research supervisor for the EPD project. The elemental phase deconstructor is fully operational, and the research data we have gathered so far is very impressive. Unfortunately, we had a terrible accident last week. Research Assistant Patterson was calibrating one of the quark emitters in the chamber, and witnesses say he appeared to see something. Almost like something was talking to him, and he backed right into the particle beam. Follow me. It was not a pretty sight, as it took off the backside of his head. He lived a few minutes, although I'm not sure you could consider that living. But they say his eyes rolled back and forth, and he was trying to talk, although after losing that much brain matter, I'm sure it was just reflex actions. Anyway, due to this, I have enacted new safety protocols in the lab, and we have stocked one of the storage cabinets with emergency medical supplies. The code for the cabinet is 752. End of log.
Warning. EPD laser active.
Audio log for Jack Smith, benefits analyst in HR 1024-2145.
Gas leak stopped.
I just went through
Fire
another batch of accident
extinguished.
reports from the science team. We've had 5 more people hurt this week while working with the equipment. The most serious incident was when John Hughes, whose hand was caught in one of the plastic extrusion systems, he was performing maintenance on it. He states that he unplugged it and had the safety key in his pocket. Managed to activate without an apparent power source and shredded his arm up to the elbow before someone got him out. It's been reported that the machine is still running. Shut it down.
Safer worlds for everyone. For centuries, people on Earth have waged war over two things vital to human existence: fuel and water. As part of its ongoing commitment to create safer worlds for everyone, the UAC recently unveiled its development of the Hydrocon. Though still in its prototype stages, the Hydrocon will, in one dramatic move, forever end all shortages of water and fuel. By splitting iron oxide molecules, the Hydrocon produces oxygen and hydrogen cheaply and safely, without the need for large amounts of electricity. The hydrogen is then used for hydrogen fuel, a substance so versatile and clean that it can be used in everything from home appliances to today's most demanding rocket engines. A side benefit of producing this fuel is an endless supply of pure, spring-like water that is more refined than any earthbound spring.
Man, am I ever glad to see you.
I
thought it was all alone.
Technology
It's
such
freaking
as the
spooky
Hydrocon
lately.
can be used
The Hydrocon's blown a few circuits and is unstable. Be careful with that gun. A stray bullet into the glass shields could blow the whole area. I'm gonna try and get this thing stabilized. I'll head to the science office when I have this under control.
safer worlds for everyone. For centuries, people on Earth have waged war over two things vital to human existence: fuel and water. As part of its ongoing commitment to create safer worlds, all shortages of water and fuel.
Here at the USC, we make better. We make better.
Hello, is this reaching anyone? I'm broadcasting on a very low frequency. If you can hear me, I'm not far. Please help me. I've locked myself in storage room C4. Please, if anyone can hear me, please help me.
Audio report regarding the disrespectful treatment of new research staff. September 14th, 2145. As you know, I have gone to considerable effort to recruit my staff researchers for Alpha Labs. Finding team members with the qualifications, let alone the willingness to come to Mars, has not been a trivial task. You know this already. But it is necessary that I emphasize seriously. We won't be able to keep our people or recruit new researchers if the harassment continues. No, harassment is exactly the right word. I'm routinely getting reports of UAC security asking inappropriate questions and submitting my staff to unnecessary backlash. I must insist that we be allowed to keep our personal lives private and be left to complete our assignments without further delays. If there is some kind of security threat, I suggest that UAC security look more deeply into their own staff. This is Andrew Chin, and
Since the dawn of the space age, Union Aerospace has been at the forefront of not only developing new technology, but pushing those developments to even more daring extremes. With an abundance thanks to the hyperspace. Has been a resounding yes. Under the direction of Dr. Malcolm McCool, key UAC scientists have made startling discoveries. Space between electrons and protons in a molecule as a storage medium for fuel in our interplanetary antimatter drive. Interplanetary ship.
Marine, Bravo team reports they've located your position but are unable to move to your current location. Head through engineering and try to link up with them in Sector 3.
And colonizing the most distant
Audio log for Walter Connors. The MFS compressor is producing fantastic results. The latest modification I made to the dilation matrix were the real key to the recent breakthrough. All in all, I feel my work on this project has been the catalyst that propelled everything forward. I've also taken a set amount of time each day to make sure that everyone is doing their job, and of course I check all of their data to ensure that no mistakes are made. This is going to be a huge money maker for the company, and quite honestly, without my input and hard work, I'm not sure that we would have gotten this far. I wanted also to thank you for your supervisory role in the project. Working with you is a true honor. Just remember me in the end of the year reports, as I'm certain I deserve a promotion. Walter out.
Don't shoot. I can help you. The lights are all out. I'll lead you through here if you can get me off this base. Come on, I can't wait. Electromagnetic pulses have knocked out the electrical systems in this area. Watch out, a big one could knock out our lights. We can't stop. We've got to keep moving. There's one. What was that? Stay close.
Kill it!
That was close. Hurry up! We can't stop!
Oh God! Don't let it get me!
Oh, thank God it's dead. Hang on. Here comes another.
Don't let it get me!
Oh, thank God it's dead. There's the exit.
This is Operations Coordinator Mark Lamia, dated November 1st, 2145. I am filing this report because I am frustrated beyond belief by the level of incompetency I have to deal with here. I don't know where HR is getting the new employees, but the last 5 guys they've sent me were all a bunch of idiots. They can't get any of their work done on time. I constantly have to keep an eye on them. They work slow, they don't follow any of the standard operating procedures, and they can't even remember basic things that I tell them. For example, I changed the cabinet door codes here to 1, 2, 3 because I thought that was easy enough to remember, but they still forgot it. I don't understand why HR can't get me better people. I'm requesting full authority to hire and fire my own employees. It's the only way I can run my department smoothly.
Toxic gas levels decreased
End of log.
50%. Toxic gas is cleared. Waste disposal area now safe for entry.
Hurry. You gotta pick up the pace. We got more men down. Bravo team is barely holding their own. Marine, I was able to locate your position. Core comm systems are beginning to malfunction and shut down. Massive service disruptions throughout the entire base. How long I'll be able to track you. Bravo team has just entered the Enpro plant. Pick up the pace. You aren't far behind.
Hey you! Can you help me? I'm trapped in here! Release the door locks and get me out! Thank you!
Thanks for getting me out of there. I got trapped in the chamber when the power went out. I don't know what's going on here. I don't understand why none of the systems are responding. I'm going to try to get an uplink into the main system from here. This is a secure terminal. I might be able to get a connection. I'm going to stay here. I can lock the door after you leave. I think I'll be safe.
Security log number 3072 for Delta Security Chief Michael Abrams, November 15th, 2145. I've just come from the Armament Division where I was issued one of the new BFG 9000 series weapons. Well, they weren't kidding about how much lighter it is over previous prototype models. Won't be so bad carrying this one around. Anyhow, for a couple of weeks now, many of the security teams have not been following proper reporting procedures. Not sure if it's the format of the new SIR, so I'll make sure each team is scheduled by Training Division to get spun up on the new reports. There have been some security issues in the Alpha Labs. I sent a team over to investigate, and now I can't reach them on any comm channel. I guess I'll have to go over there myself. Well, I'm headed over there now. I'll finish the security report in full when I get back. Oh yeah, one more thing. I'm gonna leave this BFG locked in my office for now. Please have IT security change my door code to 901. Sure as hell don't need anyone messing around with it. Chief Abrams, end of log.
Base schematics show all passages out of your area blocked. The only way through is by traversing the EFR, mechanical subsystem with 2 possible routes through it. Activating the system will get you a direct route, but it's dangerous. Extending the service bridges is safer, but the lighting systems are fried. Make your choice, Wayne. Good luck.
Can you help me? What? Hey! Hey! Ah! Hey you! Can you help me? I'm trapped in here! Release the door locks and get me out! Thank you!
Thanks for getting me out of there. I got trapped in the chamber when the power went out. I don't know what's going on here. I don't understand why none of the systems are responding. I'm going to try to get an uplink into the main system here. This is a secure terminal. I might be able to get a connection.
Base schematics show all passages out of your area blocked. The only way through is by traversing the EFR, mechanical subsystem with 2 possible routes through it. Activating the system will get you a direct route, but it's dangerous. Extending the service bridges is safer, but the lighting systems are fried. Make your choice, Marine. Good luck.
This is the audio log of Plant Manager Henry Nelson, dated October 24th, 2145. I don't know how I should report this, so I'll just talk about what I know and what I need. I've had quite a few employees reporting to me that they've heard strange sounds, like voices talking, calling them, even when they were alone. At first, I didn't believe them. The guys down here like to kid around. but they assured me they were serious. I ignored the stories at first, until one day I heard something too. I was working on one of the lift-up service panels, and I distinctly heard the voice of someone saying, "Over here." I quickly turned to see who was there, but the passage was completely empty. I looked around, but I didn't see another soul. I even checked the work logs, and no one else was working in that area. I don't want to sound crazy here, but my guys and myself are a little spooked, and some of the guys were even talking about ghosts. So, to make everyone, including myself, feel a little more comfortable, I'd like to request that a security team make a thorough check of the EFR area. Thank you. Henry Nelson.
This is Lee. Give me status. Always clear. There's nothing here, Sam. What the hell? Son of a bitch! Lead, I'm swinging around left.
Warning. Coolant rod 2 offline. Main reactor operation temperature exceeding safe levels.
Marine, Bravo team is down. Their operational status is unknown. They were carrying a military transmission card. It's vital you retrieve that card as it contains encoded data needed to send the distress signal to the fleet. They're the last hope to get reinforcements. Find that card and find it fast.